Welcome back to the Reserve Podcast. I'm your host, Kurtis, with my co-host here, TJ. So today's going to be a little different. A little story time. Story time with Turk and Kurt. There's actually a lot of stuff going on that we should talk about next week. But we're going to be a little lighthearted this episode. You know, bring the energy up in the world.
Yeah.
So,
God knows we need it.
Yeah, we do. Tell a little story about me and Turk, Steven, Mason. So this is the story about my place up north in Minnesota. It was a Wednesday night, right? That I picked you up.
Yeah.
It started right from the get-go. I picked this guy up from his house, and he gets into my car, and he's like, "Guys, I don't feel so good." And I was like, "Oh, what do you mean?" And I was with sex. I thought you weren't gonna come, but he was like, "I threw up this morning."
I had to pull through for the boys, so I kind of put that aside.
Yeah,
I was willing to power through.
Yeah.
Even though I really wasn't up to it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's where it started. But we were like, all right, well, if you don't want to go, you don't have to. But you know, he came. So we drive up there Thursday morning. It's a 6.5 hour drive.
Yeah, we left at like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
4 or 5 a.m.
Yeah. So we get up there and, you know, having a great time going up there. It was my first time on the highway driving my car.
Yeah, and you couldn't let us forget that.
Yeah.
So you said like 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, I couldn't let you forget that the first time I drove on the highway was 6.5 hours to...
No, we split the driving. It wasn't just you.
Oh, yeah, I know. But I was still...
You and Mace, we split it.
I was still scared out of my fucking mind.
Yeah, I was too when I first drove on the highway.
Yeah. But anyways, so, yeah, we get up there. It's pretty nice up there. It's, you know, hot and shit. We're getting ready to go all the fun activities.
Summer.
Yeah, fun activities that we're going to do. I have 2 jet skis up there, so we were going to go on the jet skis. I go down there on the lake, and my jet ski is filled to the brim with water. So I was quite pissed. The other one wasn't, but Mason didn't want to, because Mason was the only one who wanted to go on the jet ski at that time. He just was like, well, I'm not going to go if you're not able to. And I was like, well, yeah, whatever. So that was kind of a bummer, but I wasn't going to let that destroy the weekend. Little did I know there's a lot more that was going to happen.
A hell of a lot more.
Me and TJ are just like, we're like, you know what? Let's go for a dip, right? So we're just like playing football in the water and shit or whatever.
Catch.
Yeah. Steve was fishing out on the dock. He looked a little gloomy. And so I was like, Steve, you doing all right? He was like, yeah, I'm not really feeling too well right now. And I was like, oh, shit. Well, kind of just like ignored that. Went back to playing catch.
To the side.
Yeah, I was like, well, he's probably going to be fine.
He's a grown man. He'll be fine.
It's probably just car sick, you know. We were in a car for 6.5 hours.
Yeah.
It wasn't fun. But then he leaves, and I'm like, huh, wonder where he's going. And so we continued just to have a good time. I think Mason was either up there or he was down on the dock with us. I don't really remember.
Mason's very forgettable in this story at some parts.
Yeah. Steve comes back and he's like, yeah, I just threw up behind the trailer. And I was like, what? So he actually spent the majority of that day in the trailer because he didn't feel so good. Respect it, gotta respect it. Then Mason was also being kind of a slouch, and I'm like, Mason, what are you doing? And he's like, dude, I have been nonstop shitting. This entire day I can't stop shitting. So he also spent most of the time in the trailer as well. Me and TJ are the only ones feeling good.
Yeah. Because as soon as I get up there, I start feeling fine because I got the fresh air, the wilderness in me.
Yeah, dude.
Great.
Yeah, we're having a great time. And then we didn't want to make any food because again, everyone's not feeling good. We go out to get some food. I think it was me and Steve went to go out and get some McDonald's.
It was you and Mason.
Oh, it was me and Mason wanted to go get some Mickey D's, right?
McDicks.
We got food for everyone. I wasn't really too hungry, but I was like, oh, I'll insist to get something. And I got like Big Mac, 2 chicken sandwich. I was a big fat fuck. Destroying food for no reason. But anyways, so everyone's eating, and I ate too much, right? So my stomach starts to it feels like pressure, you know? You know how it feels like that when you eat too much?
You just eat way too much.
But I was chilling. I was big chilling. So yeah, everyone was not under everyone was cool. Everyone was okay.
Yeah, we basically played poker all weekend.
Yeah, we played poker. We were having a good time. It was just I'm not up to go outside and fucking do shit, you know?
Yeah, this was Friday?
This was Friday.
Yeah, and Friday was raining all day.
Yeah.
It wasn't really worth going outside.
We start planning to go to bed. I think, so Steve slept out on the couch in the trailer. You slept in the back room.
Which was 100 degrees.
Yeah, I know. That room is so fucking hot.
I sweat my balls off.
And then it was me and Mason. But in the middle of the night, my stomach was like, oh, fuck. You know, I ate way too much McDonald's. So I went to the bathroom. shitting my guts out, but like, you know, cause I ate too much McDonald's, or so I thought. Come back out, go back into bed. Then start feeling it again. Went back to the bathroom, came back, tried to go to bed. Then I was like, yo, this fucking sucks, cause now it's starting to make its way up, you know,
Going in the wrong direction.
So I go outside, and I was like, dude, I don't know what's going on, but I start scream vomiting, quite literally. Like that type shit. Not even kidding. It was louder than that because I could hear my echo.
It wasn't even sound like he was throwing up. It just sounded like he was screaming into the toilet. Like yelling at it.
Yeah, no, it wasn't the toilet though. It was outside.
I heard you right next to me in the toilet.
That wasn't I didn't puke once in the toilet.
It was like the main area with the couch and kitchen.
Yeah.
Then it was the bathroom,
Yeah.
and then the back room where I stayed in. I could have sworn you were in the bathroom puking.
I was not in the bathroom.
And that was just really loud.
Yeah,
Even outside.
I'm not even kidding. I heard it echo from the street. Like I was like, dude, I'm waking people up for sure right now. So I'm scream vomiting. Well, not even when I'm done with that, I can still feel that there's some shit that needs to come out of my ass. Ran to the bathroom, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a battle between shitting and throwing up everywhere. I'm shitting, I'm throwing
shit
up.
coming out of every hole.
Seriously, I'm shitting, throwing up, shitting, throwing up, shitting, throwing up. And then it's the time where I've about had it. I'm starting to lose a lot of fluids.
Yeah.
So I can't move. So I'm on the deck of our trailer, like the stairs.
Yeah.
I was on the deck of that, and I just stayed there. Honestly, I was shitting myself.
Yeah.
I
You
couldn't
were all
move.
Curled up in a little ball. With
Yes.
Your dad's Star Wars blanket.
Yeah,
Or a towel.
my dad's Star Wars towel. I was shitting, throwing up, couldn't control it. It was just happening. Then Mason comes out and says, Curtis, you need me to call the ambulance? I couldn't answer it. I just started screaming. That's all I did. Then he asked again, and I was like, yes. Call everything. He's frantically on the phone. Fucking, like he was asking me questions like I can ask questions right now.
Yeah.
Like he was like, Curtis, what's the address? And I'm like, so like, anyways, we figure it out. All right, they're on their fucking way or whatever. So I'm still vomiting and shitting and vomiting and shitting, and I see about 3 cars pull up, but not like they drive past. And I'm like, yo, that's the ambulance? These guys are fucking idiots. How can they not see the kid that's just sitting there throwing up and vomiting? But then they all reverse together like it's a fucking cartoon movie, and then pull in. So yeah, the ambulance is there. They're asking, he's like, jackass comes up to me and says,
Hey, dude, how you feeling?
and I'm like,
About at this time, I come out from the back after all the screaming
yeah.
and throwing up. I was talking to Steve, like, are you okay? And Steve was like, that wasn't me. That was Curtis.
Yeah.
Because he was the one that was mainly sick all weekend.
Yeah, because
So-
you thought it was Steve, and that was so funny. Steve was like, dude, TJ just came out and asked me if I'm all right.
Yeah. And then I went on the dock.
The deck?
Yeah, the deck. And I just looked down at my feet, and you're just sitting there.
Yeah.
And then I look at Mason. I was like, what's going on? He was like, I just called the ambulance. They're coming to get him. He's not doing good. I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, it was not good. They're all asking questions and shit, and I can't talk. I don't have any fluid in my body. I cannot talk.
Definition of a KO right there.
Yeah, seriously,
You're
I
down
was-
for the count.
I was fucking gone. So Mason has to like talk for me, basically. I don't
He
know.
did witness everything.
Yeah, Mason witnessed everything, and Mason had, because Steve was still sick, so he couldn't really like talk that much. But anyways, yeah, he's like telling him, you know, they're asking questions and he's answering. At this point, so I'm out on the deck, and Mason was outside with me. Steve and TJ were out in like the door, like just looking, like, hey, like this looking at me. Then the f***ing asshole paramedic or whatever the fuck he is was like,
What you guys hiding in there?
and they were like, what are you talking about? We're looking at our guy that's fucking dying right now. And it was like,
Oh, well, you guys had any alcohol or anything? Any drugs?
and quite honestly, we didn't have any alcohol or anything up there. We weren't even doing anything.
Yeah. We're
It's-
fucking all 18 years old, freshly out of high school.
Yeah, we didn't have anything up there.
All we had was shitty Gatorade.
Yeah, shitty Gatorade and fucking probably undercooked hot dogs or.
You can't get sick from cooks or hot dogs. Are pre-cooked.
they're pretty cooked. It probably wasn't a good
Yeah,
combination.
I got made fun of that for when I got home, saying it must have been the hot dog. No, hot dogs are pre-cooked. I learned that.
Yeah, no, I
I felt
learned.
like a fucking idiot.
Yeah. Anyways, that's not what happened. But yeah, they're like,
Are you guys doing any, like, drugs or alcohol or whatever?
and we're like, no, guy. Then they wanted to come in to see if we had a
Gas leak.
Yeah, gas leak. We didn't have any gas leak. So I'm flipping out. Like, I can hear all this happening. So I'm like, dude, if it's not that, it's not this. What am I have food poisoning? Like, what could this possibly be? It's the worst feeling I've ever had in my entire life. They're like,
All right, well, we're going to have to get you up now.
and I'm like, all right, I'll try my hardest. So they like help me up, and all I have on is my dad's Star Wars towel. I took everything off because I was like, well, I'm not gonna get any more shit on my clothes. So
I just shit on this towel.
yeah, so I have a towel.
That really represented how much you don't like Star Wars.
No, seriously, yeah, I don't like Star Wars. So I'm limping to the ambulance, the back of it. They get me in the little, what is that thing called? The
Gurney?
Yeah, the gurney.
Yeah, whatever.
Get me in that, put an IV in me. Instantly, I start feeling better with the IV in. Not instantly, but like, I can start talking to people.
Yeah.
So the guy's asking me questions, and he's like,
Hey, all right, in all honesty, you're not going to get in trouble.
well, it's all fine. Were you guys drinking tonight? And I was like, no, asshole. We were not drinking. Obviously,
It's funny because
I would tell
everybody
you.
else was sober, and he was still asking if we were drinking.
Yeah. And I'm like, what do you, yeah, like, oh, so, and Mason's driving my car to the hospital.
Yeah.
You think I'm going to let some guy that's fucking intoxicated drive my car? No. Yeah, I'm like, hey, guy, no. It's like, in all seriousness, we weren't drinking. We weren't doing any sort of drugs. I'm sick, and I want to know why. But yeah, I have the IV in. I'm a little woozy still. I still have that feeling in my stomach, and I'm puking like in the bag, but not like scream vomiting. Get into the hospital, and I'm like able to talk. Like I'm being goofy, but I'm able to talk. So they get me into the bed, and when I got off the gurney, there's a lot of shit on the gurney because I could uncontrollably stop shitting. That was my issue the entire
Painted that brown.
Yeah, the rest of the weekend I had bowel movements like you wouldn't believe. So I'm sitting there waiting for like the nurse to come in or the doctor to come in. Whatever. This chick comes in, like the assistant comes in and is like,
Hey, so can I get your medical stuff or whatever?
and I'm like, hey, honestly, I don't fucking know. I don't know it.
I don't know anything.
I don't know. I'm just trying to stay alive right now. My body is shut down. It's only survival mode right now. Like you just look like a piece of meat to me. So I can stop talking.
Whoa. Sexist much.
No, like
Not in that way.
But yeah, so I'm like, I don't know anything. I'm sorry. I really can't help you out. I'm just so sick right now. She's like,
Okay, well, we'll get it all figured out and squared away or whatever.
So they did. So then the nurse comes in, and he's like,
Hey, how you feeling?
and I'm like,
The second he says that, you start throwing up again.
yeah. So he's like,
Oh, all right. Okay, well, we're going to get you something figured out here.
so they gave me some type of, like some pills, because they thought I had food poisoning.
Yeah.
Not
very good doctors they are.
No, but I still had the IV in, and all the fluid was getting sucked down. And right when all that was gone, he was like,
All right, well, we're going to take this out, and we're going to probably send you home pretty soon.
and I looked at him, and I was like, what? Are you kidding me? I can barely move right now. No, you're not taking me home. I'm still shitting. Like, as you are talking to me right now, I'm shitting still. I don't think he understood that. The whole time, I was shitting. Like, I couldn't stop. It was just bad.
That shit train don't stop.
Yeah, dude, it wouldn't stop. I was like, I can't hold it in. I really can't. I'm just so weak. He took, all the fluid was gone. He took the IV out. I instantly started throwing up. Then he was like,
No, we'll probably keep you for a little bit longer.
and I'm like, yeah.
Like 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, and I'm like, all right, asshole. Like, yeah, get me another IV and, like, let's seriously start figuring out what's going on. So they give me another bag of IV fluid, right? And then the actual doctor comes in. So he was like, same attitude.
Hey, you feeling all right?
Like, obviously no, dickhead. We're talking to me about what we were doing and shit, and like, I was like, maybe it was the food, maybe it was, I don't know. But then he was
All right, well, we're going to give you a shot.
yeah, a shot.
How about after this, I'll tell from my perspective.
All right.
Too.
Yeah, I think it was the nurse that gave me the shot.
Yeah, it was.
So it's a big needle, right? And he was like,
All right, we're going to count you down, okay?
and he was like,
3.
and then right into my leg, and I was like, bro, are you fucking serious? That hurt so bad, I was freaking out.
Was that your bad leg too?
Yeah, it was my left leg.
Because he got surgery on his leg a couple years prior to that.
Yeah, no, it was. I think it was the same year, wasn't it?
No, it couldn't have been. It had been like a.
I got surgery in junior year.
Yeah.
We went
And
up
this
senior
was
year.
After senior year, after we
Oh yeah.
graduated.
So yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Dumbass
Yeah, like a
Curtis.
year. Idiot.
Wait, hey,
It's your life and you don't know the order?
no, okay, I don't.
Dumbass.
I guess we could tell by your perspective now.
Okay, so we'll just skip to the part right where Curtis is on the deck in the front. I go back inside after Mason calls the ambulance. I think Mason ends up telling Steve to call Curtis's dad because I didn't have his number.
Yeah.
And then when Steve called him, Curtis's dad picked up and he was like,
Why are you calling me at this ungodly hour?
Yeah.
And then Steve basically explained everything, how you're sick and all that. He was saying like,
Do I need to come up?
he's like, no, we got it. And then he hung up. We went outside, and then after we got Curtis all in the ambulance and that, they drove off. And then me, Steve, and Mason were all piling in the car. Me and Mason got in. Steve was about to get in. He was like, oh, give me a second. So I got out of the car, walked over to behind the camper, right in front of the car, bent over, and just threw up.
Oh my
like
god.
a little pile.
Oh
And he
my
got
God.
back in. He was like, I'm good. So we started driving, and they took this really weird route. Like, they didn't take like the main roads. Like, I think that was because like, so in case there's a train or something coming, they didn't get stopped.
Yeah.
So yeah, they took this really weird route to the hospital. Then we finally get there. We all get into the waiting room, and we just ask the lady at the desk like when we can see him and that. Oh, we didn't mention this, but this all happened at like 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yeah, this was really late at night. This was midnight.
Yeah, this wasn't like sometime in the afternoon. This was like 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
We're just waiting there. Like, I post a picture on my Snapchat, and it's just 2 in the morning. Then all of a sudden, my phone starts blowing up with people saying like,
What's going on? What's going on?
I was like, oh, Curtis is a little bitch and had to go to the hospital because he's sick. While we're waiting, he like every like 5-10 minutes, will he be like, I gotta go use the bathroom. He'd go to the bathroom, come back, be like, I threw up again. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, dude. And
at this point, he looked like a pale ghost.
Oh,
He
yeah.
looked bad.
yeah, he looked fucked up. Because I remember Steve told me copious amount of times where he was like, you guys were in the waiting, not in the waiting room. You guys were in the room with me. The only person that felt good was TJ.
Yeah.
And so
I was
TJ's
the only one that felt 100%.
TJ's on his phone, like looking at memes and shit, and he's showing Steve memes, and Steve feels like shit. So Steve doesn't give a fuck, but he's like,
thought some of them were funny.
yeah, but he was like, do I fucking feel like shit right now? And Mason's still not feeling good. It was just so funny, man. After I get the fucking horse fucking steroid in my fucking leg or whatever they gave me, then I'm there for about probably 10 more minutes, and then they're like, all right, we're gonna get you out. So I was like, all right. They cleared out. Mason, TJ, and Steve are still there, and I was like, you guys might want to leave when I get up. I don't want to be embarrassed, so you guys might want to leave. So they leave. I unravel myself, so I get off the bed, and when I look back, when I tell you it was a pool of shit.
It wasn't solid. It was just
It was
straight
not
liquid.
solid at all. It was straight up liquid.
Like a puddle of shit
yes,
behind.
like honestly, like Sheridan, the Sheridan
Pond.
pond. That was what I left.
Did you have a little trail following you after you got up?
No,
Out the door?
no,
Oh, it wasn't that bad.
dude.
It wasn't still coming out.
But it was still coming out because like I'm sitting there and I'm like, I can't. By the way, I still have my dad's Star Wars towel. I left it there.
And nothing else.
Yeah, I still left it there. I left it there. I was like, you know what? These can clean it up because they're kind of assholes to us.
Yeah, they weren't that great.
Yeah. So I grabbed one of their towels, put it around me.
No,
and
you grabbed the blanket that you had with you on the bed with you. It was a full-size blanket.
Oh yeah. You're right. Yeah. So it was a blanket on that bed. So I took the hospital blanket
And you wrapped it around yourself.
yeah, and I wrapped it around myself. Yeah. The only thing I have on is a shirt. So I'm walking out. They get me a wheelchair because again I can't fucking fully function.
No, you walked out. You
No.
didn't get you a wheelchair.
They had a wheelchair.
Oh yeah, up
Mason
until the
pushed me
exit.
out. Mason pushed me out. Yeah.
I could have sworn you walked out.
No.
Because I remember you were just walking, little
Yeah.
step at a time.
Yeah, that was later when we were getting to the car and also after we were getting into the trailer.
Okay.
No, Mason pushed me out. This is where story gets kind of nasty, but we're in the car. Like I think Mason's pulling the car around, and I feel like shit. But they're like, Kurt, you can sit in the front. So I sit in the passenger seat of my car. Mason's driving. I'm not trying to shit in my own car, so I am holding it on for dear life. I'm going through a struggle you guys didn't even know. Even though I was trying my hardest, it was still leaking out. Mason was driving like Ace Ventura out of my car with his head sticking out of the window. Everyone had their windows down. I think I had my window down too, but that was just to get fresh air. I didn't smell I didn't smell anything, but they said it smelled so fucking bad. We get to the place.
Back to the camper.
Yeah, we get back to the camper. We're all getting out. Mason's helping me walk. And behind me is TJ and Steve. And TJ pats Steve on the shoulder and fucking points at me, has a flashlight, and is just showing the fucking skid mark of shit that I have on me. So then after that, I'm able to fall asleep pretty good. Wake up the next morning. I forgot that I lost the ability to control myself shitting. Only my undies on, and I'm relaxed, and I feel something trying to push out. Right, so I instantly close my butt cheeks. Go right to the bathroom, do my thing. It was goofy. I mean, like shit. The whole time I was fucking texting people like, "Hey, this might be my last day on Earth." Fucking. After that, we were like, "Let's stay for the day. If it's not going well, we gotta leave sooner." But we did stay till Sunday.
Yeah.
So the whole weekend. Yeah, you guys were like watching videos and stuff, and I was just in bed all day. I couldn't move.
Yeah.
We had to clean up the camper. This is where I got mad at you guys because we had to clean up the camper. We just didn't want to leave it a mess for
all the shit everywhere.
yeah, for all like in my
Literally.
my parents and shit, because they're gonna come up the next weekend. There's a bunch of trash and shit. So yeah, we're all like cleaning up. But honestly, these three guys, you aren't fucking cleaning up anything.
I was cleaning up.
Dude, remember when you guys were all packed in the car and I was still cleaning the trailer? Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, I remember we're sitting there and you're like, "What the fuck is he doing?"
Yeah,
Because we thought it wasn't that bad, but you thought otherwise.
yeah, because I was like, dude, I'm not gonna leave this place to shit. Even though it was quite literally full of shit. But yeah, we left 2 windows open. We didn't flush out the trailer, like the bathroom shit.
Oh,
So
yeah.
all this shit was just in there. And my mom was like, just pour some fucking vinegar or something down there.
And there's always a gallon of vinegar right behind the
Yeah,
toilet.
but yeah, so I was a little upset. I'm like, I'm cleaning all this shit up, and I fucking feel awful. And Steve's like, come on, Kurt, hurry up. And I'm like,
Yeah,
dude,
because you were the last one. We were all packed up.
I
ready to
know.
go.
That's just because I didn't want to leave the place already messed the way it was
Yeah.
going to be. I still couldn't drive. He couldn't do anything. Mason drove the entire time. It was a shitty drive
No,
home.
I drove home too.
You drove home?
Yeah.
I didn't even
the
remember.
first part.
I don't
So remember, the second part, Mason was driving home, and that's when we all started getting like an argument with him.
Yeah. You guys were fucking pushing his buttons.
Yeah, we're all pushing his buttons, and Mason was starting to get super pissed.
Yeah. That was fucking funny. You guys were fucking pissing him off.
You ended up driving home at the end, but it was only for like
2
half
seconds.
an hour, like
Yeah.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
We made one last stop, and you're like, I drive, and we're like 10 minutes away from home.
Yeah. And I had to drive my own car anyways. I had to get somehow
And
get
that's
home.
when you put it in sport mode.
Yeah. That was really the story, wasn't it? Didn't leave anything out.
When you were in the room and me and Steve were in there, yeah, Mason wasn't really in the room at all because he was in the bathroom too, just shitting his brains out.
Yeah. Steve told me that they were switching off because they had
Yeah.
they had a card they had to get in, like to ask for a card.
Yeah.
Steve would ask, "Hey, can I use a card for the bathroom?" And then after he throws up, goes out, Mason's like, "Hey, can I use the card for the bathroom?" And it was just doing that for the entire time that we were in the hospital.
When I was just sitting on the chair and Steve was standing up, and we just kept looking at Curtis, and I was looking at my phone. And yeah, I was just scrolling through Instagram, and I was showing Steve some funny memes. And he laughed at a couple of them. Most of them he wasn't really into. And also, when they gave you the shot, me and Steve we had to like look down, and to the sound we started laughing because the way you screamed, you were like, never really heard before.
Yeah, dude, but because I didn't have the energy, but I also didn't expect it. Yeah, dude, that was so bad. This asshole said
3.
right into my leg. That was, I think, the first time we all went up too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a month after graduation.
Yeah. So yeah, that was really it. Yeah, crazy story. Yeah, like we said, we kind of wanted to keep this a story-based podcast for today.
Little laugh.
Yeah, we also wanted to actually implement this into the podcast. Before I talked about the segment name of Getting Personal, but I think we should just call it Story Time with Turk and Kurt.
Yeah.
And it'll be a lot shorter than this long.
We're not gonna do all of our stories this long.
It'll be like 5-10 minutes of a
Quick
story.
stories.
Yeah. Also, another segment that I want to implement that I want to talk about is called Fitness Facts.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Kurt's getting physical.
Yeah, just getting really fitness on you. Just basically, I want it to be where I tell not like a story, but like how I lost the weight, what I do to, try and get better, give my best advice if I can, and also take advice from you guys and see if I can, if I can implement it into what I do. But that's gonna be it for this week. We got a lot of big topics to talk about pretty soon. Everything going on.
Yeah.
Should
Kinda
be
save some of the topics that we would use for this one for next week, so we'll have a lot of stuff to talk about next week.
Yeah, a lot of nightly news stuff I think we can talk about.
Oh yeah, a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed that story. If you really did, make sure to smash that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, do that
Tell
for
your
us.
friends,
Tell your friends.
everyone.
Yeah. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in.